Hello everyone, welcome to Faith Check.
And today's topic is, what is faith?
I was in 8th grade and we were walking towards our middle school soccer game with a few of my friends. And there was this guy that was a classmate of ours who will always say, I don't believe in anything but myself and science. And just as we were getting close to the soccer field, this black cat just comes and crosses the road. There are a lot of homeless cats back home. And so he turns around and starts walking backwards, which in my country is a way to avoid the curse of black cats crossing the road. Reminds me also of just a couple of weeks ago on November 4th, the Monday night football game. Remember the Giants and the Cowboys? How that black cat came on the field in the second quarters, and from 9-3, the score for the Giants winning, everything turned around, and by the end of that second half, it was 13-12 for the Cowboys. I still believe the Cowboys would have won, but a lot of people started blaming the cat for the Giants losing the game.
So we all have trust and faith in something. The dictionary gives the definition of faith in the following way. It's a complete trust or confidence in someone or something. In general, science shows that people who have faith are healthier and happier people.
Faith is a positive thing. Dale Matthews, a Georgetown University School of Medicine professor, did study with some of his colleagues, and they found out that those who have religious involvement get ill a lot less. If they get ill, they recover faster, and they also live longer, which matches earlier studies that have been done. One of the most famous ones was published in 2001 in the Reader's Digest. It was a study of Duke University together with Dartmouth School of Medicine, and they found that people who will attend church or were practicing faith at least once a week had about 7 years longer life expectancy, which really brings me to the idea that we want to bring up tonight, that faith is a positive thing. It seems like we were designed to live with faith. Not only that, but it provides a positive experience in all other areas of life.
But not all faith is the same though, right? Because in order for faith to hold, it has to be something true and something real. Because otherwise I could have faith in humanity and in myself, but then, every day I drive to school and I pass by the cemetery and I'm reminded daily of our human limitations. Or we can have faith in our possessions, but an economical crisis might come and we can lose it all. So what we put our trust and faith and confidence in matters. I remember in my history class when I was young in a communist country, the history teacher was talking about a certain faith group in history, and one of the boys said, but it doesn't make sense what they believe. And I will never forget what the teacher said. Well, it doesn't matter. When it's about faith, you just believe it. It doesn't have to make sense. And I tend to disagree with that. Faith has to be something that makes sense, that is involves our thinking, reasoning, and shouldn't be based only on feelings.
So in other words, what we believe in has to be true. Otherwise, it's just sooner or later will disappoint us. Yeah. But also, there are many times when we believe in things. I remember you using this illustration one time when we were talking to this lady, and you said, well, you can have a medicine that is really can cure cancer or whatever you had, but if you don't reach out and take it, it doesn't matter that you believe that this medicine is real.
So faith requires action.
Exactly.
And Hebrew 11:1 says, now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance in what we do not see. By faith we understand that the universe was formed at God's command. And then the chapter 11 gives, in Hebrew, gives example of people that have lived a life of faith, of active action. Because, why are we saying that faith is not, it has to be an action thing? There is a verse in the Bible in James 2:19 says, you say you have faith, for you believe there is one God. Good for you. Even the demons believe this. So having knowledge of something, it's not really the faith we're talking about. Hebrews 11 gives example of people that have lived a life of faith, and one of them, for example, is the story of Noah, who for God told him that there will be a flood, and he had this confidence and trust that this is true and it's going to happen.
And by the way, at that time, people had never heard of rain.
Yes.
It hadn't rained on earth at all, is what the Bible story says. And he had to believe that there will be a flood.
Exactly, but he knew God really personally and well, and he was confident that this is true and it's going to happen. And 120 years he preached about that.
Not only that, he builds a boat
Yes.
for the flood, something that no one had seen again.
Exactly, and in the end, according to the biblical account, it happened.
And in another story in the New Testament, Jesus is healing people and sharing the good news of the eternity that he's telling people to look forward to. And this lady comes with the desire to be healed and just tries to touch him in a way that no one will notice, and she is healed.
We all know people that live a life of assurance and confidence in the God that they have believed in, and even in many hard times, they have this faith.
Yeah, they seem to live with the confidence that if they're in a financial crisis, God will provide. If they lost their job, God will help them find something. They have this peace about things because they trust in a higher being that can help them.
Yes, and in general, the God that the Bible presents, who is involved in our lives, who helps, who heals, listen to some of the passages in the Bible that really make faith a very appealing thing. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future.
Then we also have the passages like John 3:16, where it says that God loved us so much that he gave his life for us so we can have life for eternity.
And one of my favorite verses from Young has been 1 Peter 5:7, that says, cast all anxiety unto him because he cares for you.
And since we're talking about favorites, my favorite is Revelation 21:1-5, where it says that God will make a new heaven and a new earth. But in verse 4 there, he says, and he will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things have passed away. Isn't that beautiful?
No more pain, no more suffering. Who wouldn't want that? But why is it that for so many of us at times, it is hard to believe?
Well, that will be the topic of our next Faith Check conversation.
And the faith check question for today was,
what do you put your trust in?
because what we believe in matters.
And at times could be the difference between life and death.
We'll see you next time.